Y'all ready? We ready. We roll, y'all. Come on, y'all ready? We ready. We roll, y'all.
Y'all ready to get this show started? Let's go. What is going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here. Oh, let me fix that a little bit. Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live on a Saturday night solo style, the Unprofessional Sports Show. Normally, I would have my man Chess Hall with me on here tonight, but he is no longer with us for right now. So it's just me. It's solo style tonight. Chess is taking the week off, and but we've been going through the SEC teams and their football schedule, and we've been going through each team. We've been going through the schedules, and looking at it. And today we're going to be looking at Ole Miss. So we're just going to go ahead and get on into it. So, all right, guys. So that being said, Ole Miss, pretty good year, first year with Lane Kiffin. Started out, obviously in September. They started out against Florida. Now they lost week 1. That we know. And they lost big time. Really, the only thing I can say is that Ole Miss and their defense sucked. Their offense was great. Just going to call it what it is. The defense was terrible. Although here, I guess you could go ahead and say, you know, it's Kyle Trask. He's elite. He's great. He had great playmakers. So, of course, they're going to score 50, 40 points like they did each and every game. Before we get much deeper into this game here, folks, I want to give a shout out to guys in the chat. MSU number one fan, the bet. What's up, Chris? Sam Bell. Peace, woman. Hope y'all are doing well. Thanks for showing up, guys. It means a lot. So yeah, their first game was against Florida to open things up. This was a very interesting game, at least going into it. Lane Kiffin, experience in the SEC, comes in from Florida Atlantic, takes over the Ole Miss Rebels program. And I guess for a first year, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't. You look at this game, Kyle Trask, obviously, we know how great he was last year. Can't deny that. 416 yards. Kadarius Toney led in rushing, 55 yards. Kyle Pitts, my man Kyle Pitts, man. I love Kyle Pitts. He's a great draft prospect. In this game, he had 170 receiving yards. Elijah Moore, keep your eye on him. He could be a day two receiver in this year's draft. Key guy for Ole Miss all of last year. I think he carried the offense of Ole Miss. And, of course, give credit to Matt Corral. 395 yards, just short of a 400-yard passing type of game. Jerrion Ealy, if I'm saying that right, 79 rushing yards. So rushing the ball, the run game in this game for Ole Miss was not that great. But Ole Miss wasn't really much of a team to run the ball last year anyway. Florida scored first. It was literally a shootout the entire game. Kyle Pitts got a 1-yard pass. Drumon, 46-yard pass from Matt Corral. Trayvon Grimes or whatever, 22-yard pass for Kyle Trask, and so on. But then there was stalling out in the second half. McPherson, 55-yard field goal, 37-yard field goal, 23-yard field goal. At times, Ole Miss actually had some defense on the field, holding Florida on third down. But overall, folks, there's really no other way to put this other than Ole Miss defense last year. Just got to call it what it is. I know I'm trying to be a sportscaster and everything, so I mean I got to be careful of how I say things when going about this. But just got to call it what it is. What it is, it was straight garbage. Ole Miss did not have any defense last year whatsoever. They probably won't have any this year. We're not here to talk about what they're going to be in 2021. We're here to talk about what they were last year. And this was a great test for them to see where they're at. I mean, kind of a close game. They did Snoop Connor, heck of a first name there, Snoop. Snoop Connor ran the ball in, final drive, left under a minute left, 1 yard, touchdown run. So anyway, overall in this game, Florida won. They just had a better offense than Ole Miss did. Ole Miss didn't have enough to keep up with Kyle Trask. Compare Kyle Trask to Matt Corral. Compare Elijah Moore to maybe Kadarius Toney or Kyle Pitts. Great players, by the way. All three of those guys I mentioned, Elijah Moore, Pitts, Toney, those three receivers right there, 2 receivers, 1 tight end, and Kyle Pitts. They're going to be top guys in the draft within the first. I guess Kyle Pitts round 1, Kadarius Toney and Elijah Moore could fall in the second or third rounds. But overall, folks, this was an interesting game. Got to give Ole Miss credit here. Tough loss for week 1 of the season, and not how you wanted to start out with Lane Kiffin. But you can't hang your heads too much. I mean, Florida, and of course you look at what they did. 2-loss regular season, not what they expected. 2-loss, 3-loss, whatever. And they go on, but they win the East. You lost to a team that won their division, made it to Atlanta, and was only a couple seconds away from potentially winning a game against Alabama until a sack. But anyway, overall, that was just a really good performance by Florida, and they pulled it out. But Ole Miss would prevail the week after against Kentucky. 42-41. We did Kentucky a couple weeks ago. This was great. It was an overtime game. Kentucky led at the end of the first quarter. They also led into halftime. They led 21-14 at the half. They led 14-7, outscoring Ole Miss in the first quarter. It goes into half 21-14. Then it's 28-21. But this was the game changer, folks. Obviously, in overtime, a failed extra point attempt or whatever for Kentucky. But really, what helped Ole Miss was the fact that obviously they tied it up and kept scoring. But this right here, the only time you truly outscored Kentucky was the fourth quarter. That's when it matters in football. And they took care of that. They put 14 points up in the fourth quarter. Let me get something to drink. 14 points in the fourth quarter. Obviously scoring 7 in overtime, giving up 6. Jarian Ely got a 1-yard touchdown run. Then Terry Wilson fires back, 4-yard touchdown run. Azim Rose for Kentucky, 2-yard run, and so on. It was a shootout. You get to overtime. Terry Wilson runs it in 10 yards. This was where it happened. They missed the PAT. Matt Ruffalo misses the kick. Right? That could have made it 42-35. Then Ole Miss gets possession. Elijah Moore runs in the game winner, plus Luke Logan getting the extra point to break the tie at 41 and win it. Imagine if Kentucky got that extra point, right? Imagine if they got the extra point. It could have gone to maybe double overtime or something. Who knows? But, things are going to happen, I guess. Overall in this game, got to give it to Ole Miss for pulling it out in the end, in overtime. And, yeah, there's really no other way to put that. I apologize for my cough, too. This next game on here is my team. And even though we won, I'm a bit pissed. Because, obviously, for Alabama, they need defense. Well, unfortunately, there was no defense in this game. But you got to give them credit. Got to give Ole Miss credit. And based on what we've seen the past couple games here, you got to give them credit. Ole Miss is building something. Lane Kiffin is a offensive juggernaut guru, the best Saban assistant there is in the game right now. Honestly, I think that. Credit to Kirby Smart. But we're in an offensive era of football, man. Nobody knows offense like a guy like Lane Kiffin. And you got to give him that, folks. You just have to. And he knows Alabama. He knows Nick Saban's defenses. Yes, their defense was terrible last year. And we know what Mac Jones, Najee Harris, and everyone did. Here you see it. It was a shootout. It was a game to remember. This was huge. Ultimately, Bama's fourth quarter performance helped seal it. Credit to Ole Miss for scoring first here. Not even a minute into the game, Kenny Yeboah gets a 6-yard touchdown from Matt Corral. Got the extra point. A 4-play drive consisted of 75 yards in 54 seconds. That's incredible. Then Mac Jones leads the offense out. We tied up 7-7. And it was a 7-7 game at the end of the first anyway. So there was some defense, there were some penalties, some miss errors, cues, whatever. In the first quarter. Overall, Ole Miss. I mean, we know about this game, right? Yeah. Bama won the championship, and their defense sucked in this game. But I viewed this game as an Alabama fan. Looking at this game, going back, I viewed it in one of two ways. One, yes, Alabama had a really bad day for defense, but honestly, I think Ole Miss just they had their chance to show what they can do. And Matt Corral is a great quarterback. Jerry and Ely is a great running back. Snoop Connor, you know. um, and again, it was a shootout. Devontae Smith, 14-yard pass for Mac Jones. Okay. Jerry and Ely, 3-yard touchdown run. Brian Robinson, touchdown run. Snoop Connor, touchdown run. Najee Harris. You know, it was back and forth the whole entire game. We were tied up at 21 at the half. 3 touchdowns for Alabama in both the third and the fourth quarter for a total of 63 points. Adding up, what the 21 points they already had, plus 21 more points in both the third and the fourth quarter. And they get 63 on the board. Their defense had a bad game, especially that second half. And you look at this box score on paper, like, that's not too bad, right? It does look it looks better on paper. I mean, they just had such they had such a hard time, Alabama. They had a bad game. It was crazy, but credit to Ole Miss. Alabama, they turned their defense around the next week against Georgia, but still, we're focusing in on Ole Miss. This was really a true test for Lane Kiffin and what his offense can do, and you shouldn't sleep on them. Like, seriously, you should not sleep on them. I really believe that. So, yeah. That being said, folks, the next game, Ole Miss lost again. Go ahead and look real quick what they did against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Again, I'm sorry for my cough. 33-21, Arkansas beat Ole Miss. Shut out Ole Miss in the first half, led 20-0 at halftime. Had a scoreless third quarter, Arkansas did. Ole Miss got a touchdown in the third quarter. It wouldn't be enough, but they got and outscored Arkansas in the fourth, 14-13. They got 2 touchdowns, but again, it just was not enough. And Arkansas, give them credit, they had some good offense. Rakeem Boyd, who I believe is coming back, right? I'm really not sure. He's a heck of a running back. He helped Arkansas out a lot. But AJ Reed hits a 23-yard field goal. Jalen Catalon, 35-yard interception, pick 6. AJ Reed gets the extra point. 17, right? 10 seconds after giving up the ball, after a field goal play, AJ Reed then hits a 32-yard field goal, and so on. Elijah Moore got a 17-yard pass. Okay. Jonathan Mingo, 21-yard pass for Matt Corral. Extra point on an 8-play drive. Traylon Burks got a 7-yard pass from Felipe Franks, the Florida transfer. Jerrion Ely got a 1-yard run. But again, Ole Miss just did not do enough offensively. 3 touchdowns. That was it. Their defense had one of their better games, I guess you could say. But 33 points is 33 points, and it still was not enough. You lost by 12, Rebels. So, Yeah, that being said, we now move on. And the next team on their list, homecoming game against Auburn. What's up? I see you in there, Jerry Wells. How you doing? What's up, Dominic? Mike Vick, Atypical Bet. What's going on? Auburn won in a close one, 35-28. Auburn outscores Ole Miss first quarter 7-0. Ole Miss though would lead, or actually they would tie it up. It would be 14-14 at the half, but they outscore Auburn in the second quarter 14-7. Get into the third quarter, they end up tying it at 21 going into the fourth quarter. But the difference maker would be Auburn's 2 touchdowns in the fourth to ultimately pull away. Tank Bigsby, keep your eye on him. He was a freshman last year. I think he might be pretty good for Auburn. I know a lot of people think Auburn's going to be terrible next year. I might agree, but I like Tank Bigsby. I think he's a good running back. We'll see. Got a 4-yard run. Elijah Moore, draft prospect this year, going to be a great receiver. 6-yard pass for Matt Corral. Bo Nix runs it in for 4 yards for Auburn. Matt Corral runs it in 5 yards for Ole Miss. Matt Corral, 10-yard rushing touchdown in the third for Ole Miss. Sean Shiver, a lot of runs, not a whole lot of passing. And you notice this was all kind of it was one of those, scoring only in the red zone outside of this one down here at the bottom. 58-yard touchdown pass Bo Nix to Seth Williams on a 6-play, 80-yard drive, a little bit over a minute. Overall, I mean, it's Auburn. It's Auburn. And they pull it out. It's not a bad loss for Ole Miss to lose to Auburn. I'd say they're kind of on the same level a little bit. Both in the SEC West. Overall, I mean, credit to Ole Miss, though, for keeping a really good close game, entertaining matchup against the Auburn Tigers, who go on the road and beat Ole Miss at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. So, you lose the homecoming game in Oxford, Ole Miss, but they would prevail next week on Halloween in Nashville, go on the road and beat Vandy. But then again, be fair, that's Vanderbilt. Let's take a look real quick at what they did against Vandy, scoring 54 on them. This was huge. 54-21 the score. Ole Miss 2-4 going into the game. Vandy 0-4 going into the game. 21-0 at the end of the first. 12-14. Vandy does outscore you, but obviously it's not enough. You shut them out the third quarter. You give up 1 touchdown in the fourth. You score 3 touchdowns in the third, none in the fourth. But still overall a great win. Matt Corral, 412 yards. Jerry and Ely rushed for 95. Elijah Moore, we keep talking about him, going to be great in the NFL. I really believe that. 238 receiving yards for Elijah Moore. Snoop Connor with the first touchdown. Kenny Yeboah, 9-yard pass. Elijah Moore, 36-yard pass for Matt Corral. Bresnahan, Bresnahan, I don't know how you say that. 43-yard pass from Ken Seals. On an 8-play drive, Vandy gets on the board. Elijah Moore, a 1-yard pass from Matt Corral. Elijah Moore, man, he had a impressive 3 touchdown performance. 1-yard touchdown, 28-yard touchdown, 36-yard touchdown. You got to give him a lot of credit, I think, folks. I really believe that. Overall, it's Vandy. Don't gloat too much, Ole Miss. But, again, a factor of their offense. Matt Corral, Elijah Moore, Brenton Sanders, Kenny Yoba. It's great. 54-21, the final score. They beat up on Vanderbilt. Next game. military appreciation game against South Carolina. Shout out to all the troops out there. We love you. Thank you for your service. Means a lot. November 14th, a huge shootout and a much needed victory at home. Much needed victory. I mean, was Ole Miss really going to go anywhere? I don't know. But you beat South Carolina. You give up 42 to them. South Carolina had some offense last year, I guess. I don't know. But Ole Miss defense, we've seen what they've been doing. Outscore South Carolina in this game 14-7 in the first quarter. South Carolina would then outscore them 14-10 going into the half, and it would be 24-21 at the half. Ole Miss, they would end up leading. Both teams got 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Ole Miss would ultimately pull away. Win by 17. They would pull away in the fourth, outscoring the Gamecocks 21-7. Overall, Jerry and Ely had a heck of a game. 5-yard touchdown run, 12-yard touchdown run, 15-yard pass touchdown for Matt Corral. Elijah Moore had some good plays too. 91-yarder for Matt Corral in the fourth quarter at the top of it. Elijah Moore, 25-yard pass. So Jerry and Ely and Elijah Moore, the two key players of the game here, I would say, in this game against South Carolina, folks. So, yeah. And then the big one, the Egg Bowl. We were looking forward to this. We were looking forward to the Egg Bowl with Ole Miss, and I'll do it for Chessall. I'll say it. Mid-Tippy Tate. A 7-point game in the Egg Bowl. Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin going head-to-head. Bro, we've been talking about this since these guys got hired. Ole Miss pulls it out in Oxford, though. Outscores Mississippi State into the first 14-0. Mid-Tippy Tate would outscore them, though, 14-7 in the second. It would be 21-14 at the half. Ole Miss. Scoreless third quarter. Both teams got 10 points in the fourth. It wasn't enough for Mid-Tippy Tate. They were down a touchdown. They needed a touchdown to tie it. They could not get it. Mississippi State, you see here, it ended up being Brandon Ruiz, a 25-yard field goal to make it only a touchdown possession. But ultimately, Ole Miss would hang on to the ball and pull away with it. They found a way to get it done. Drumon got a 48-yarder from Matt Corral. Snoop Conner, right before the end of the first, runs it in for a touchdown. Malik Heath, a 6-yard pass from Will Rogers. Will Rogers, pretty good game here. Pretty good quarterback at Mid-Tippy Tate. And Braylon Sanders, an 81-yard pass from Matt Corral. Malik Heath again from Will Rogers. Luke Logan hits a 26-yarder for the Rebels. Austin Williams for the Bulldogs, 7-yard pass from Will Rogers. Jerry Neely, an 8-yard run, a little under 5 to play. And, of course, mentioned Brandon Ruiz got a 25-yard field goal right before 2 minutes. And it wouldn't be enough. So, what's up, Lincoln Stevens? How you doing, brother? Fun night on trivia last night, by the way. But still. So, there was that in the Egg Bowl. It was very entertaining, a 7-point game. We expected, hopefully, a close game. And that's what we got. So, we got 2 games left here. The next one was a loss. Now, okay, they did have a game against A&M. It never got rescheduled. It was in College Station. It got canceled. Obviously, COVID. But they never rescheduled the game. So, we fast forward to December 19th, the day of the SEC title game. But since these two teams were not in it, they played LSU and Ole Miss head-to-head. 53-48, LSU pulled it out But what happened? Well, they outscored them in the first quarter. It's had 7. Then this is where Ole Miss really messed up. 24 points given up in the second quarter, man. 24-14, LSU outscoring Ole Miss. It would be 34-21 at the half. Credit to Ole Miss though for outscoring them 13-6. But if you're down that big, you're down 34-21. You still give up 6, and it's ultimately then what would it be? I guess 34-21, 37-21, 37-27. You see all that here. Part of it, though, check this out. Braylon Sanders, 20-yard pass for Matt Corral. Cade York hits a field goal. Jay Ward gets a 31-yarder for a pick 6. Max Johnson, the quarterback for LSU, at least in this game, still trying to find the next Joe Burrow. They have not. But Max Johnson runs it in for a yard. Jarian Ely takes a 100-yard kickoff return for Ole Miss. That was huge. You need big plays like that in the SEC, and they got that there. Make it a 3-point game. Extra point upcoming. But the defense kept giving up. They kept failing. Gave up another touchdown. Kayshon Boutte, 32-yard pass from Max Johnson. LSU pulling away a bit towards the half. Henry Parrish got a 1-yard run. Kayshon Boutte, again, 18-yard pass for Max Johnson. Cade York, field goal. Ole Miss finally starting to answer back a bit, right? It's 34-21, 37-21. Now they want to make it a 10-point game. Henry Parrish runs it in 10 yards, right? John Rice Plumlee tried to run it in for 2 points, failed that. The next score would be Drummond getting a 5-yard pass from Matt Corral. Extra point up and good there by Luke Logan. Cade York hits a 50-yard field goal. He's a great field goal kicker, too, for LSU, Cade York. Braylon Sanders, a 25-yard pass from Matt Corral, folks. And Matt Corral, then again, the next scoring play would be a 2-yard touchdown run. This was it. They're coming back. 48-40, 8:43, Ole Miss. But then, ultimately, Max Johnson got a 1-yard touchdown run. He tried to pass for 2 to tie it up and failed. Then LSU plays some good defense, forces a 3-and-out for Ole Miss, right? They get the ball back. 45-yard pass for Max Johnson. Kayshon Boutte leaving a little over a minute and a half. Count a minute and a half left for Ole Miss, but they cannot get it done. 53-48, the final score of that game. And that was it. What's up, Big Lee? How you doing, man? Yeah, Boutte. And that was it for Ole Miss until, they credit to them, though. They made a bowl game. Everyone was eligible because COVID and everything and weird. See, everyone had eligibility unless opt-outs or whatever occurred. I don't know. Outback Bowl. That's a good landing spot for Ole Miss. SEC Big Ten showdown with Indiana. And Indiana, of course, Michael Penix had a heck of a game. No, he didn't have a heck of a game. He didn't. Jack Tuttle was the quarterback in this game for Indiana anyway. But Michael Penix at least had a heck of a season. Got to give him that. Ole Miss won 26-20. Outscored 6-3. It was field goals in the first quarter. Scoreless second quarter for Indiana. It's 13-3 at the half. Ole Miss got a touchdown. Casey Kelly, 5-yard pass from Matt Corral. Then in the third, Indiana gets the ball. Campbell hits a 53-yarder. That's pretty good. You make it a 7-point game, but ultimately, Ole Miss showing that offense again. Soon Connor, 4-yard run. Then back-to-back drives for Indiana, or not like back-to-back drives, but the next two scores of the game. You enter the fourth quarter, pretty much the first play right then and there. Stevie Scott runs it in for 3 yards on a 15-play, 80-yard drive. Then they would come and tie it up at 20. Stevie Scott was running in for 2 yards. And then Ole Miss pulls away. Luke Logan missed the PAT. Drummond got a 3-yard pass from Matt Corral on a 6-play, 63-yard drive that lasted a minute 46, folks, leaving 4:12 on the clock. Ultimately, Indiana would try to answer. They would fail to do so. And Ole Miss, your Outback Bowl champions, folks. And that's going to do it for Ole Miss season 26-20. We're going to go ahead and give out the grades here real quick. I feel like I'm going to be honest. Y'all let me know. I did this by myself for the first time. I love Chess. If you're watching, which I'm sure you're watching it back, bro, we love you. Wish you were here doing the show with me tonight, man. I know you're taking a week off, taking a break, just relaxing. We love you, brother. And I gotta grade this. Overall, defense for Ole Miss, terrible. I'm gonna give them an F. Well, that's a little harsh. I'll give them a D minus. They did have some of their games that, against some offenses, I guess. But overall, I mean, they could have done better there. Offense, man, is crazy good. I got to give them an A minus on offense. Special teams, I mean, I saw a couple missed PATs in there. I probably have to give them a C or something. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments, how would you grade the Ole Miss Rebels from last season? Definitely comment in the live chat. Let me know. And, but anyway, so I guess that's going to do it for Ole Miss tonight. And again, shout out to my man TikTok Chess Hall. Go sub him up. He normally does a show with me, but he's taking a week off just to relax, have some family time or whatever with his folks. And I love you, brother. If you're watching, I'm sure he's going to watch it back or something. Yeah, man, just I love each and every one of you guys. I guess I can hang out and read some comments or whatever. Hold on 1 second. Oh, yeah, that was Chess Hall. Let me call him back.
What's up, buddy?
This is Chess Hall on the line, everybody.
Oh, wait, are you live?
I'm doing the show, yeah, and
okay.
You're on the air.
What's up, everybody? TikTok this all. You're coming back at you with a phone call. Mississippi, or not Mississippi, Ole Miss. Offense got a A. Defense got a D minus. I give the coaching staff a C.
Yeah, man.
So that's my grade. I didn't get to watch the show, man, but I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah, man, it was a good one.
I'm sure you did a good job. But I just wanted to call and say hey to everybody. So everybody's doing. Remember, guys, I'm back Monday night at 11, baby.
Woo!
Love you, Ballard.
Love you, bro. Hey, y'all go sub up. Y'all go sub up, Chess Hall. We love you, man, and we'll see you Monday. Shout out to my man, Chess Hall. We love you, brother. And go sub him up. Go say hello. Tell him Ballard sent you over there, folks. And I love doing the Unprofessional Sports Show. It's better with Chess Hall, so we'll get him back next week. You heard him here. He'll be back Monday at 11 Eastern. So he'll be back. But yeah, overall, Ole Miss offense, you got to give it like a B or an A. Defense, D or an F. I don't know. Special teams was okay. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. I love each and every one of you. Shout out to Ole Miss for I guess a pretty decent year with Lane Kiffin year one. Could they be a team to look out for? Could they give Bama trouble next year? Could they give them? They could give anybody trouble in the SEC next year. I think they're going to get better. They return quite a bit. You got to give them credit. I I'll keep doing team preview videos myself throughout the spring and the summer, and eventually get to Ole Miss, and we'll look at them then. But overall, Ole Miss had a pretty good season last year for Ole Miss standards. They've had some rough years recently. They've also done better in history too. But I'd say for year one under Lane Kiffin, give them a crap ton of credit. They did really, really well. So special shout outs to y'all in the comments. Howdy, Lizard Circus. How you doing, man? Good seeing you. Shannon Mitchell. We'll see you later. Samuel Pate. Mike Vick. MSU fan. Shannon. Lincoln Stevens. Big Lee, my man. How you doing, brother? Atypical. The Bet. Sam Bell. Chris. Peace, a woman. MSU fan. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, folks. Shout out to Ole Miss on a pretty good 2020 season, again, for their standards. Any other team would have looked at that and been like, we could do better than that. But for Ole Miss standards, great offense. I think it's heading in the right direction with Lane Kiffin. Year one was, I'd say, for Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin, good success. But we'll see going forward. Love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the show here. Y'all go sub up the co-host, TikTok Chess Hall. He'll be back Monday night at 11 Eastern. You'll want to be there. I'm telling you. I know I will. So, anyway, Chess Hall, I know you're watching. I love you, bro. I love each and every one of y'all in the comments. And y'all have an awesome night, a blessed weekend, and I guess I'll catch you guys later. Love you guys. Have a good one. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media. And until next time, Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love you guys. Jesus loves y'all. Keep your head up. We'll see you next time. Roll Tide, roll.
We're coming back.
Know that.
Coming back. Tom Brady's.
Okay.
Roll down Tide.